Here we are. Can you turn it down? Hello, everybody. Welcome to an all-new DTI Takeover Show. For those of you who are just tuning in, I am your host, Miss Kayla, with Silas III and G Suites Not Far Away. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We have another special guest for you today. I'm going to go ahead and bring her in. We have Miss Sherrita Niles, owner of In Connection Strategies. Hi, Sherrita.
Hello, hello, hello.
I'm laughing because there is a good a delay.
Yes, I keep trying to wait for you to hear what you're saying before I respond.
You want to try to hold on. You want to try to log out, and log back in? We can restart it just to see if maybe that has some.
Okay, let me try. Yes. Okay, is that better?
Is that good? Can you hear me?
I can hear
All
you.
right, there we go.
I
We
don't
got
hear the echo this time.
Take two. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to an all-new DTI Takeover Show. For those of you who are tuning in, this is Miss Kayla, G Sweets and Silas III are around as well. Welcome. We have another show for you today. We have Miss Sherrita Niles, owner of In Connection Strategies. How are you, Sherrita?
I am well. Thank you for asking. Glad to be here.
Good, oh, good. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I am Sherrita Niles, as she said. I am affectionately called the Business Challenge Assassin. I am a creative relationship strategist for my company that I'm also CEO of, In Connection Strategies. Just some things about me. I'm a mom of four. In 2 years, I'll be an empty nester and I'll be ready to travel the world. I have three boys, one girl. They're the joy of my life, but I am so excited to not have to have them in my house very soon. So it's an exciting time. I love being a mom, but I also love seeing my little baby bears go out and live their life. So I'm ready for that. In addition, I'm an artist, I'm a writer. Like I said, I'm a world traveler. I haven't made it across the whole world yet, but that is on my bucket list. And I am just excited about everything that's happening right now.
Okay, what kind of artist are you?
What type of art do I do? I
Yes.
am a visual artist, so I do some sculpting, like collage type work, acrylic painting. One day I'm gonna step into oil painting, but I feel like I need to master acrylic before I cross over into something else. So I try to keep myself, that's what keeps me grounded. Like that's something that I'm passionate about. But when I need to debrief from work, I go right to art.
Mhm.
That's something that's been in me like
Uh-oh.
life. So.
I just said the same thing. You hear me?
All right. Can you still hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I think we're back. All right.
Okay. So now you're saying you're an author as well? Uh-oh.
Okay.
You there? Can you hear me?
I can now. Yes.
Yeah, now? Oh, we got
Well,
delay
it's kind
again.
of in and out. Yeah,
Are
it's
you
kind of
on
choppy.
are you on a laptop or a desktop?
I am on a laptop.
On a
Yes.
laptop.
And I just did another video thing, and it was okay. No, it's a laptop.
Um yes. Yes. Okay.
I can hear you now.
Okay. How about now? It's a delay.
Yeah, still a delay. I can hear you and see you now,
You can
though.
hear me and see me. It's just a delay.
Yes.
Okay, it sounds like we're a little better right now.
Okay. Kind of in and out. So yeah, it like does it for a minute, and then it goes back to the delay. So we'll just. I can go with the flow. It's okay.
So all you, you can stay on here, but I can, mute yourself, so people will be they'll be able to see you, and then I'll have you on my phone on speakerphone. Does that make sense?
Say it one more time.
Yeah, I'm hooked up to Wi-Fi. No. Mhm.
Hello.
Okay.
Okay.
So I was saying that I can have you on the phone,
Okay.
on speakerphone. You can still stay on the line. And so they'll still be able to hear you from the it'll just coming through my phone, the audio.
Okay. Okay. No problem.
You gotta worry about the delay. Okay, so put yourself on mute.
Okay. So put my got it.
That is better. Okay. Okay. Can you hear me? I can. There we go. And this is recorded already, so we good. This is recorded already, so we good. Can you turn the volume down on your computer?
Oh, is that what that is?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You hear me? Okay. All right. That's all right. We just got some editing we're going to take out. But that's good. Let's keep it moving.
All the time.
Okay. So you said you're an author. What kind of things have you written?
I have written a few short stories. Of course, for my business, I've written a couple of ebooks and some stuff that has never been published because I'm working on that level of bravery right now. So I have lots of things that I've written, but I have not released them to the public because that takes a lot of courage to put it out there, and that's something that I use as an outlet. So I haven't always been interested in letting everybody know my,
your business,
that's all my inner stuff. So, but I'm working on it because there's some things that I feel like I've written that could really help some other people. So I'm working on my courage to release them.
But you have them. You're just holding on to them.
Absolutely, yes. Which is not doing anything for anybody else.
Now your ebooks are for your business.
Yes, they are. Yeah.
Okay. Well, tell us about In Connections strategies.
Okay, so e-connection strategies is actually birthed after I've always been an entrepreneur, probably since I was about 8 years old, and I've attempted a few businesses. Some were successful, some were not. So I used to be, I would say probably in 2015, I was still an event manager. I did corporate events for nonprofits and organizations, things like that, and really my skill was in like seeing what other people could not see and having an understanding for people. Also, like a lot of things that were logistical. So when I'm originally from St. Louis, and I moved from St. Louis to Indianapolis in 2017.
Why?
All right, so
we ain't gotta get deep. I mean, we ain't gotta go there. You know, if you don't want to.
No, we can. It's part of my story, so I love telling people.
Okay.
I felt a pull to go to Indianapolis. I knew no one. I had no family there. I'm going to say it was a faith walk. You know, it was a God pull.
Okay.
For whatever reason, that's where God wanted me to be.
Okay.
And I packed up. I left my children behind for 6 months because I knew that I couldn't navigate being a mother and navigate a new city and finding a job and all of those things at one
with
time.
them,
so,
right.
I made arrangements for them to be okay. My oldest son was an adult at that time, so he pretty much looked out for them between him and my mom. And I went to July 30th of 2017. I drove to Indianapolis, which was my first time ever driving out of town by myself on the highway, interstate highway, because I always rode with other people. And I arrived, and I knew no one except the person who hired me for the position and who was my supervisor. But in that journey, you know, at the time I didn't know what it was about, but I recognized that that was an opportunity for me to learn to trust people in a different way and to actually trust people in general because, you know, my beginnings were, I had a lot of trauma. There was a lot of things that took place and I did not trust people. I didn't trust anybody.
Right.
And that limited me in business a lot because I was always looking at people as if they were out to do something to me, or I didn't, you know, open up and connect with them because I feared what they would do. And that a lot of that is just, you know, the results of the traumatic things that you've experienced, whether it's, you know, someone just taking advantage of you or manipulating you to whatever it is. I mean, all of that is still a level of trauma. So, excuse me, for me, coming to a new place and not knowing anybody, I really had to learn to open up. And that's kind of how this business was birthed because I started at that position. I left the city that I knew, the only city I really knew, to come to a new city knowing no one to work a part-time job. But I really, in my soul, felt that there was something in this city for me. So I took the chance and I was like, I'll give myself 90 days. If it doesn't work, then I can go back to St. Louis. It's okay. Like, I have that ability.
To go back, right.
And in 90 days, I had everything that I needed to establish my family. I would say probably within 8 months, I ended up with a raise as well as a promotion on the job. And as time went on, by the time 2018 came, I had taken another position, which took my income up about $6,000. And by the time the end of 2018 came, another position came up, and I was making $10,000 more than what I was when I was on the first full-time job there. So all of that happened because I connected with people. I opened up. I let them know, you know, you don't have to tell people everything about you, but when I first got here, the people I worked with knew that I was a single mom. They knew I had 4 kids. They knew I had no place to live. I was living in a hotel, and that I was making plans to bring my kids. And when I tell you, like, even people I didn't know would contact me and say, I heard you're here. You just moved here. Let me tell you what you need to do. Let me connect you with this place. Let me connect you with these people. And the more I let them in, the more I was able to get help.
Right.
Working that position, it was a community outreach position where my job was to build relationships, ironically.
Right. It was meant to be.
So So in that, I met so many wonderful people. One was saying, if you're ever looking for another position, I would love to have you on my team, or can you come and help us with this project? Or would you mind, can we pay you? So people were paying me as like a contractor to come and help them in their organizations and companies with projects that they were working on, and I was still working the job, and it wasn't really a conflict of interest because these were partners that I had developed for the company. And one day I was looking for another job, and one of my contacts happened to be in the building at the time, and she could tell, and she said, "Send me your resume." And I sent her my resume, and in a week, I had a completely different position. Because I also learned that just because people are being nice to you doesn't mean that they appreciate you.
Right.
So this job, they gave me a lot of hand applause.
Yeah, incentives to keep you going. Yeah. Yeah, that was just to keep you to do the job.
So I wasn't new to work, and I had plenty of professional jobs, and I was like, it is what it is. Like, I don't owe you any level of anything because I work, you pay me. So here's a position. You guys don't want to give me the raise? Okay.
I'll find somebody else who can. Right.
So that's what I did. I went to the next place, and honestly, I was only at that job for about 6 months. And then another position that was really something that I had been waiting for came. But in 2020, shortly before 2020, I started feeling this feeling of like, I really need to be working full time for myself. And I was still doing some contract stuff, and it really had turned into that. And to be honest, at the time, I've always been a connector, connecting other people, but it wasn't beneficial to me.
To you, right.
It was beneficial to everybody else. So in this position, I was connecting organizations that didn't know each other, helping them make money, but no one was paying me other than, sometimes if I help with the events or things like that, but no one was paying me for the connection.
For the connection. That's the service. That's the job though, right?
It really is. At the time, at the time, I didn't know that was. I didn't know that people got paid for that. So one of my connections, one day she pulled me to the side and she said, "You got to stop." Right. And I said, "Stop helping people?" She said, "No, stop helping people for free." And I was just like, nobody gets paid to just tell about their connections. And she said,
they do.
Yes, they do.
Yes, they do.
So she referred me to another lady who was actually getting paid to do this. She was an older lady. And she said, just call her and talk to her and just see. And that lady was just like, "Oh my goodness, you're young. You have so much spunk." She was like, "You're going to be great at this. Like you really need to think about this." So she gave me some things to think about. And hers was a little different than what I do now. But just knowing that someone else was doing something that I was thinking, that I was really already doing and getting money for it changed the dynamic of what I was doing. So I kind of let go of doing people's events, and I was like, here's what I do.
Yep.
You need to know people so they can come to these events, so they can cut checks. I'm going to help you get the people here so they can write checks. Right. And that changed everything. So in 2020, I was working for a major organization, a nonprofit, and, the world turned upside down. I had two teenage kids who were going to be required to be at home by themselves.
Oh, yep, because COVID hit.
Them to do their work, and I was just like, no, I'm not that type of mom, because I love my kids, and they know that I love them, but I don't trust teenagers. So I'm just like,
got you. Right.
I can't be gone that many hours knowing that they're in my house. And also, that was really a difficult time. So mentally, emotionally, I was like, my kids need me. And yes, my job did eventually release us to work from home, but it just, I didn't want to. That's the whole thing. I was just like, this is not for me. Like, there's so much more I could be doing. And I really was already doing it. But also trying to do their work, and I realized that position just wasn't a good fit for me because I couldn't be who I needed to be creatively. I wasn't free to be who I needed to be in my own personality, and I don't do well with being inside of boxes. So I was like, I think it's coming time, and honestly, one day I woke up and I say that it's a dream, but I don't really feel like it was a dream.
Mm-hmm.
And I clearly heard it's time to leave. And I was just like, okay.
It's time.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
And when I tell you within a week of me resigning, like a week to my last day, like things just started rolling in. Like I was in such a good place, a place that I had never been in business before. You know,
Gotcha.
like all the things that I had to worry about were like not a worry. And I was like, okay, this is the provision. This means that I'm on the right track. And it's been great ever since then. Like I'm so passionate about what I do because it's already who I am. Where some people get into business and they do things because you can make money in it or it seems like it'll be a good idea. But I was already doing this.
Yeah, you just doing it for free.
I was just doing it for free.
But you was doing it.
Don't get me wrong, I still struggle with that. It's a lot of stuff that I still do for free because I'm just a compassionate person like that. But I'm working on it. I'm definitely working on it. I've scaled back a lot of things. But when you are a person like that, it's very difficult to say, okay, now pay me for this when you're always looking to help other people. And that's who I am. Like, I really want to help people. So I kind of transitioned from a lot of corporate business to I have a real heart for small businesses, and especially small businesses owned by African American people. You know, that's where my heart is. I want to see us succeed. I'm all about building a community, like building your own community within a community. So you can be part of a community, but then have your own community that you are called to serve. You know, I'm a true believer that every person that owns a business, there is something specific about them. That the reason why they run that business, there's something unique, there's something individual about them, and there is a tribe of people that wait for them to show up in their authenticity to give them what it is that they've been waiting for. So that's a lot of what I mean, although I teach people how to connect and build relationships, it's really about showing up for you. Showing up in who you are, and then I can get you connected to the right people. Because, you know, if I use a word like networking, people cringe, with anxiety, they don't want to talk about that because those atmospheres are sometimes, you know, we get a little, we start to feel beside ourselves, and like we don't fit. But there's a way that you can show up in that, and it doesn't matter what your personality is. I call people out. I'm like, this is for introverts. This is for people who are overthinkers. This is for the procrastinator. You know, this is for the perfectionist. Like, you can still make authentic connections, even if those are personality traits that you have. Just don't let the fear, you know, my thing is always use fear as a tool. Don't use it as a hindrance. Use it as a tool, because fear is real. It's human. We all have it. It's natural for you to feel fear, but it's not natural for you to allow fear to stop you from doing what you're supposed to do.
I hear you. So what's a service? So if I come to you, say, Sherrita, I got Total Entertainment Radio, I need connections. How do you help me?
So there's a couple ways that I help you, and I just really put this together in a different way because for so long I was offering so many services. So there's two services. You can get my and that's actually not up on my website yet, but it will be in a few days, where I just provide like the plan for you. So everything, you already have the pre-written emails that you can send, because the other thing is we are learning to transition from in-person business to a lot of online business, which people look at that as a negative, but for me, I feel like it gives me the opportunity to expand my reach. I mean, even like what we're doing now, this is digital. We're in 2 different cities, and we're still able to connect in this way. So it really gives you an opportunity to grow, even though it's not the way that we've always done it. So I teach people how to adjust to online, you know, doing things digitally, but also, you know, here's how you actually connect with someone digitally. It's more than just you contacting them to try to make a transaction. You actually have to build a connection, because the truth is, we don't buy the product or service. We really buy the person. So whoever it is that's introducing us to something, we have to have a level of connection with them. Otherwise, we won't purchase because there's somebody else that we can connect with. So I just like to teach people how to be that person, you know, how you make sure that you are that person because you create an actual connection. So that service gives you everything on paper.
Okay.
Everything that you need, you know, it even gives you ideas of how to send messages to people, all of those things. And that's one service.
And so do you have, I'm sorry, do you have, so the paper, is there like a, what's the word I'm looking for, a script to send people? Like if I wanted to email a business right now for Total Entertainment Radio, do you have a script for me to send that business?
I do. I have an actual email that's typed, and you would just add in things that are specific to your company. And then it comes along with suggestions for things that you want to include depending on the type of business or organization that you're trying to connect with.
Gotcha.
So there's a teaching part to it. So then I also have coaching where I have a group coaching where you can come in, you can ask questions when you're a member of the group coaching community. We can talk about, you know, who is it that you're trying to connect with? What are the fears that you have? You know, what's holding you back? Why haven't you connected with them by now? Or what makes you want to? We can actually discuss those things because I come in live and do discussions about that. Okay. And then the third way is where I become the collaborator for a company. So I really reserve that for larger companies and larger organizations. But if somebody else wants to use it, they can. And
so you're like the middle person, basically?
I am like your community advocate.
You're my advocate.
You would educate me on how the business works, what you want the public to know, and then I go out and build relationships on your behalf.
Got you. So now, and what was the second service again?
So the second service is group coaching. Okay. Well, I don't like to call it coaching. I call it group strategy because what we do is a group. We help each person. So each time that we meet, there's, you know, a few questions that are put out, and then everybody kind of chimes in and says, well, have you tried this? Or what about this? Because it's one thought is only gets you one way, but several thoughts can get you several ways. So I just believe in, you know, us being supportive, being accountable to one another, and that's empowering when you have other people chiming in on what it is that you're trying to do. Like it changes how you think about business, because in our community, a lot of times we don't trust one another. We do think, you know, people are just out to get our money. So there's twofold in that strategy group. Number one, to help you get, you know, in a conversation with people on how to do it, but also you become part of a community. So these are people you can rely on.
And you start building those connections.
You can do business with, collaborations, all of that. So it's a twofold for that.
Now, and so the group, it's like your messaging, it's an email, it's a blast. Like, how does that work?
So the group is, you're a part of the community. So daily there are posts that are going in the group. Okay. Sometimes there's a challenge put up, like here's something for you to try this week. And they may have to come back and give a video post of like what they did, and everybody kind of critiques it, gives, you know, information. But then once a month I come on and we just do an open forum where people submit questions ahead of time, and you know, I answer the questions, but I also encourage the group, like, give your input. Everybody needs to hear it. You know, you have something great to offer, or it might fall into a service that somebody has to offer, and because they're part of the community, they can promote that.
So, okay. So now, is this like a Zoom? Is this like a Facebook group?
Yeah, it's we've done it on a Facebook group, but I actually switched it to, I use Google Meet more than Zoom, just because Zoom has those peak moments when it's very difficult.
Yes, it does.
But Google Meet is a little bit, you know, it's not. There's people using it, but for whatever reason, it works so much better. I don't get kicked off of that. And there's not a time limit on Google Meet, so I like to use that. Where with Zoom, you know, Google Meet is part of what I use for my email suite, and it goes with my website, so I don't have to pay extra fees for having a 2-hour meeting. It's included in that for me. Yeah.
Got you. So Sherrita, how can someone book your services?
So the easiest way to book my services is through my website. My website is www.in-connection-strategies.com. That's the easiest way. There is a request form on there if you want to. And if you're not sure, if you want to be, use my services, but you kind of want to get an idea, I also have, I'm always looking to gain new business buddies. That's what I call, people that I connect with, because I keep a list and I'm always shooting out information like, hey, here's a funding opportunity that applies to anybody, or, here's a way that you can connect with people. So I like to send out information, but I also like to get to know businesses because I connect people.
Right.
And there might be something coming down the line where I'm like referring people. So you want to be part of my community.
Okay, that's it. You can put Total Entertainment Radio on your list.
Oh, okay.
You can definitely refer us to your connections.
Yes. Well, I'm sure they're going to see this and they'll be like, how did you do that?
Wait a minute, Sherrita.
Hey, Sherrita, how you doing?
Hey.
I'm good. Well, I thought never mind. That's good. Good to hear. I like the stuff that we're hearing. This is a really good interview. I want to know if we can possibly speak after your interview.
Yes, we can.
Okay. Yep. Let's go ahead and do that. I didn't want to jump in and interrupt too much, but
okay.
I think it's some stuff I like to talk about.
No problem.
Okay. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, sure.
So, Sherrita, so are you on Facebook? Are you on social media?
Yes, I am. I'm sorry. Listen, this is the part that I'm not good at.
That's okay. That's okay.
I'm so used to having something displayed, and I didn't press that. But yes, I am on Facebook and on Instagram at in.connectionstrategies is all one word. So both of them are in.connectionstrategies. I'm also on LinkedIn. I want to say if you just go to LinkedIn and search In Connection Strategies, or you can connect. I mean, you can search Sherrita Niles. I'm only on there for my business. And my open Facebook group, which does not cost, is Transcend Your Tribe. So if you want to just get in and, get an idea of how I do stuff and kind of just become part of the community to get updates, I do give my groups a little bit more information than what I put out on my public pages. Just because
that makes sense.
They special. It's my community.
I got you. That makes sense. Okay. And you said the best way for you to book your services through your website.
Yes, through my website, there is a contact page, and there's also a services page. So if you want to choose one of the services, everything except for my Done For You, where I send you the emails and everything, because that's not on there yet, but that's coming soon. Gotcha. So if you just want to stay connected, get on my list, because when that's released, I am going to let my community know first.
Okay. I'm gonna ask you this last question.
Okay.
Where do you see In Connections in the next 5 years?
Ooh, great. Okay, so in the next 5 years, my goal is to really create a team, because right now, technically I'm a solopreneur. I got some kids that's working with me because they don't have a choice because I'm their mom.
Right.
Exactly. But I would really like to give opportunity to other people. I know that I'm not the only person that is, a connector. I know I've met some people who are connectors, but I think that they don't know how to make this into something for themselves. So I want to help people establish a strategy program. And it doesn't have to be exactly what I have, but maybe you take some of what I do and you create your own. So kind of like how people franchise. I would like that, because I want to kind of free myself to do the things that I'm not saying I don't love this, but I don't want to work forever.
Right.
When I graduated high school, I had a goal that I was going to retire by 50, and I still plan to retire by 50. But retirement means I can write, I can do art, I can travel at my leisure whenever I feel like it. So by then, I hope to just be the CEO and not the CEO and employed by my company. And it's just rebuilding communities all over the land. That's my goal.
I love it. Thank you, Sherrita, once again for being on our show. Y'all make sure y'all follow In Connection Strategies on Facebook, Instagram. Check out her website. Get connected. Book her services.
Get connected. Come on, be my business buddy.
Be a business buddy.
Don't be blessed by it.
All right, well, that's all I got for y'all today. Stay tight on the line, Sherrita. But everybody else, we out.
All right. Bye, guys.